Hello, hello. It's Thursday. Just another day in the world of, I don't know, life, good, bad, and the ugly, insanity, the unknown, the known, all that good stuff. I don't think we can separate anything out anymore. I've learned to expect the totally unexpected at any minute. I'm Lucinda. My channel is Fantastic Finds. This is a week 2 of a 2-week build-a-box of jewelry. I will be invoicing out. I have a sale tomorrow, Friday. That's always a more chill, let's talk, let's learn, let's slow down. You share your knowledge with me. I share my knowledge with you. And sale, but it's just slower pace. Today is going to be buy it nows and starting bids. But I have a lot of inventory and, I'm going to move pretty fast for me, but still pretty fast. I'm usually on about 2.5 hours tops. I don't do replays. Replays. Y'all can watch the replay. I sometimes watch my replays. I watch a lot of other people's replays. Recaps. I don't do recaps. If you ever purchase from me and you don't want to do a build-a-box, which the 2 weeks will end of the build-a-box Friday, and you want your item right away because it's a gift or you want to wear it somewhere or, doesn't matter. Any reason you want. Just email me right down there at mscwalker@att.net and tell me, and I'll invoice it out right after the sale. And Monday through Friday, I can take things to my little tiny rural post office. I am in the middle. It's hard in California to be in the middle of nowhere, but I really kind of am. So Saturdays is a nada on my post office. Let's see. If you've never been here before and you bid on something and you're the winning bidder or the winning buy it now, I will need, before the sale ends, your YouTube name, your real name with shipping address and zip code, and your PayPal email address because I bill through PayPal. I ship using Pirate Ship. Again, my email is mscwalker@att.net. It's pretty easy, and I know that most people who come here, it's not their first rodeo at a live sale. So, you know the drill. I trust you. Yeah, there's a lot of choices. Thursdays, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the lot of choices for sales. And I know a lot of people watch more than one sale at a time. But I am going to be pretty fast paced. So, if it's a buy it now, be in. And I mix it up. So it's not going to be all buy it now, then yada, yada. I just pull as I feel like pulling, right? I got a lot of new inventory in, and I have been doing lots of research and lots of sorting and planning. I started doing some sorting and planning for this sale yesterday. And I always bring vintage costume is my primary gig. Semi-precious gold, silver, stones is something that I'm acclimating more and more to. I will have a Presidium by the end of next month, I do believe. Hi, Becky. How are you, darling? Becky is a very dear friend of mine. And so then I can test stones. But in the meantime, when I purchase items that have stones or that, are sterling silver, etc., I test my silver and gold. I test anything that might look like that. But in the meantime, any stones I have like this that refuses to show up in this light is sold to me by resellers who have been doing this forever and know exactly what they have. So when I tell you it's something, I know that it's something. If I tell you I think it's something, then I think it's something. If you ever get something and you are not satisfied and you're like, that's absolutely not what that is, then we can talk about it and we can return it. But something like this, I really wish the light was showing it. This is red garnets on sterling silver on this delightful bale, and I put it on a short, thick snake chain today, and I love it. And that's unfortunate because I don't want to keep it. I mean, I really do, but I need the money more than I need it. I was just upstairs starting to try to sort again through rings, bracelets, necklaces, you name it, and brooches and plastic versus metal for like just 15 minutes. And I started feeling overwhelmed and I walked away. Becky, yeah, I understand that, girlfriend. Becky, I haven't spoken to Karen yet. So just a heads up, I'm going to make myself a note. Call Karen. I did see her yesterday with Trisha and Denise and Kim. And oh, she's just coughing so bad from being sick for so long. So I think I'm going to call Karen next week. She is just, I think she's at the end of whatever she's had for so long, but yeah, I don't want to bug her, but I will call her because Becky and I have something we're thinking about over here. Thinking about doing. Okay, I got my little note, Becky. All right, so my preamble is done, except to say, if my eyes look puffy or brownish underneath, it is because I had 9 trees plus tons of brush cut down last week. And all they were 50 feet tall, 40 to 50 feet tall at least. Every tree. They're weed pines. They're fir trees. Fir trees are only meant to last 25 years. These were 40 years old. And the burn piles that these people were doing were on the side of my house and the back behind my front door, so to speak. And the smoke was raging in, even with everything sealed up. It was so smoky in here for 8-9 hours. And the piles, they put dirt on them because I wouldn't let them leave until they made it safe, because I can't physically go check it constantly. They're still burning. It's like a campfire pit when you have the coals and before you leave, or a beach, and you bury the coals. Well, the coals are still going, and they'll probably be going for a week. And they wanted to leave it open, just burning. And I'm like, no, I have severe arthritis. I can't go out there every 2 hours to see if a wildfire is starting. So anyway, my sinuses, and I touch right here, so painful. So, okay, with all that said, I'm going to go. And okay, Becky, good. I'm going to start with some buy it nows, and we'll see what happens. And welcome in, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well in the Lurkers Lounge. Buy it now. What am I going to start to buy it now? I'm going to do something super duper simplistic right now. $4. These are really cool. I cannot wear these type of earrings, or I would. They actually do have vintage post now, ton of them, and I'm seriously looking at that in terms of me keeping it. These are based on the metal being so worn off and all the rest of it. I suspect that these were probably 1960s, maybe early 70s. I think they're beautiful. Boom, look, my computer, the minute I get over here, it works. So this is a navy blue, but because of this brilliant red, like a little bit of gold flecks enamel work, the navy blue is picking up that red color. See what I mean? And they look like sterling silver. These are some of the best older enamel clip-on earrings I've ever seen. Just because they're indented. This is raised, and this is set down in. They really look like sterling silver. Here's the back. There is no name. They're the perfect size, and look, they match what I'm wearing perfectly. If I could wear clip-ons, I'd be all over it. $4, buy it now. And I need my this and that. I need my this and that. And like I say, I always bring affordable items, and I have a lot of high-end items. I have costume, and I have gold and sterling silver. I have a piece of dead pawn. I have rings. I have a lot of stuff going on. These are 1 inch across. 1 inch across. Okay, moving on. Moving on. I'll put them in my to come back another time. Do they have a name right there? No. Okay. Whoa. Wait a minute. Why does it? I can always, there you go. Sorry, technical difficulty on my end. Okay, thank you for looking. Let's do, I'm going to do a starting bid of oops. Sorry, it takes me a minute to type, but I get there. Now I need my other this and that. Here we go. I've shown this little guy a few times. Wait for my computer to adjust its light. I still haven't gone in there and made it so it doesn't automatically do that. I really need to do that. It drives me nuts. So this is an older little pin. I'm not exactly sure the date, but it's vintage amber and marcasite turtle. See his little feet? There's his little head. There's the marcasite. Poor man's diamonds. Back feet and tail. He is small, but he is mighty. Let me show you with the light going through. So amber was something that became popular for a while in the end of the Victorian age. And then it kind of disappeared until I remember like the late 70s, early 80s. Then it kind of disappeared a little bit, and now it's like everywhere. Very popular. Even his eyes have marcasite. And he is sterling silver. He or she. The setting, if it'll focus, the wire work setting around the cabochon amber in the middle is very well done. It stands up really high. Here is the back. A really interesting ring clasp. It's kind of an indication of age, but he is little. He is little, but he is worth every penny. He is worth every penny. And the amber is a darker orange. He's 3/4 of an inch wide and a little over an inch long. The amber is a darker color, so one of two things. He either is a Mediterranean amber, which would make sense given the age of this, and or the amber has darkened over time. One or the other could be true, and I don't know the answer. This guy will not be coming back at a reduced price. I can't really afford to do that. So him's going to go hang out over here. If anyone comes in late and you want to scroll back through and see what I've brought, please feel free. Okay, let's do another buy it now. Is that okay with you? $5. Now, I said that, and then I'm like, where'd they go? These are so cool. I actually tested these to see if they were gold. And they're not, but they surely look gold on the front. I would say these are probably mid-late 60s. The prong set is really well done. That's a big part of the reason why I say that they're earlier, because they took great care to do the prong setting despite it not being gold. And that's something they simply would not do anymore unless we're talking about, this person puts these double things on, and I bought this from, and I don't like them. They stay on the card, but I don't like it. They're not necessary. They put these plastic, which people use as actual ear studs, but they don't need it because they have them. And even the age of the clip backs right there with the scroll cut, that ages them. I'll take one off and I'll show you, and then I'll move on. Here's the side. Put lotion on your hands and then do this. Here's the back. And they're pretty small, but I love them. And if you have multiple holes in your ears, they would look great going up to almost that high or all the way up there, although you usually wear a hoop up there. But I think they're really sweet. I think they're perfect, and I think you're more than halfway dressed just putting these on. So buy it now for $5. And again, I don't think that's helping. Not really. They're dainty. They're dainty, but not too dainty. So they're really good for the summer. And the stones shine really brilliantly. They are 1/2 inch wide by almost 3/4 of an inch tall. And since this is the first time I've shown these, I'll put them in my coming back next week, but I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. Okay, how about this? I move all over the place, so you got to roll with it. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you don't have puffy, achy sinuses like I do from gigantic billowing smoke. My God, they were actually freaking me out. I never would have done burn piles like that. I'm the fire safety person up here. And I mean, they were right below tree branches. I can see where a lot of them are singed. The ash was blowing everywhere, even though it was green ash. I don't care. Freaking me out. So this I showed last Tuesday or a couple days ago, Tuesday. And I was really not prepared for that sale. And I brought this up, and I brought it up really inexpensive. And I said I'd honor it till the end of that sale, because I was like, oh my God, I think this is something, and I think I'm making a mistake. I think it's a designer or someone. So I pulled it, and I don't do that hardly ever, and I don't like to do that. So that's why once I put in that price, I was like, I'll honor it till the end of today. So this is a vintage Anne Klein brooch. Maybe this is a stylized day. It's a fleur-de-lis. It is gold tone. It is not gold. Some people have this listed as gold. A couple of people. It is not gold, but it looks like gold. Anne Klein was a designer who really did her stuff well. It's fairly large, and these sell for double or higher what I'm asking as a starting bid. So if you like, the pen comes out right here. If you like designer names and you want to collect the vintage high-end costume jewelry, that generally speaking, things like Anne Klein, Gucci, etc., only anything, scarves, jewelry, clothes, they only go up in price. So I mean, look at this. This was made in, I think, the early 80s, and people are asking $35 and $40 online. And originally, that's probably how much it cost. So it's at least retained its value in 30 some years. I find that amazing. So, there you go. If you're a reseller, you could flip this. It is 1 3/4 inches in diameter. And I think it's very regal. Anne Klein, Anne Schmein, whatever. I think it's very regal. See? There you go. Going out somewhere. Boom. And it really does look like real gold. So again, I don't know. I'll think about bringing it back next week. I mean, I don't want to be hanging on to inventory. I don't. So, we'll see. Now that my computer wants to pay attention, let's see if we can see this. I've shown it a couple times recently. It's so good, and it's so nice and thick. It is for sale. I sold the torque that it came on. It's fabulous. Okay, so if anyone's interested in that, holler at me. Let's do a necklace. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Oh, good Lord. I knew where this came from. And now I don't remember, but that's all right. I'm just going to use the word that I remember. And it is a starting bid of okay. Let me take it off the, sorry for my reach and getting in your face. I have so what I do is I pile necklaces on my helpers. This is Molly. She's my second helper. So I tend to, for one thing, I do that. Like for instance, the necklace I'm going to show you is this incredible Javanese elephant, but I put it with this costume jewelry, gold and white enameled chain, because you could layer it like this. So, because layering has never really gone out of style, but it is definitely back in style. I set up so much stuff, but I set up my jewelry just a little weird. So let me show you this guy. It's an elephant. All the metal on the elephant tested at 14K, but it held so well that I believe it might be 18 carat, but I did not continue to test it more. 14 was good enough for me, and I had so much to test that I stopped there. It has one gold tusk. It is a trunk up. There's its ear and its eye. This is Javanese. These are from, oh, good Lord, 60s, 70s. Maybe, I don't really want to say earlier, although it's possible. You can find, you see the lines in there? That is a natural substance. It is not acrylic. And you can find a lot of elephants online, and you can find this type of style if you want to take a screenshot online, but I could not find this exact little guy at all. And I love him. And he is on a chain, and I can't remember, it's a nice chain, but I can't remember if it actually says that it is gold filled. And sometimes it's really hard. The actual links of the chain look as though they are, but unless they have, I didn't test the chain, unless they have a hang tag, or they have the little like sterling silver and gold sometimes have a little triangular like piece right here, or they have a tag hanging. It's hard to know. But here is the very nice fine chain. I'm just going to call it gold tone because I didn't test it. But I do believe it too could be a low quality gold. The chain, it's a very delicate, very sweet, very lightweight. The chain is going to be about 20 inches. Maybe 22. And I ask you, look these up. This is about a third of what these sell for right now. And this little elephant guy is, and I'm not going to keep saying that. What I'm going to say to y'all is, because I don't like saying that. He's 1.5 inches long and 1 inch wide. What I am going to say is that it's very rare that I ask full price for anything, and I try to stay half price. Some items 2/3. So I'm just going to say that and keep going. If anyone changes their mind, you know where to find this. And I'm surprised nobody wants this. I mean, it's glorious. Glorious. Okay. He needs to go in a bag. He he will not 33. He might come back on Tuesday. So on Tuesdays, I do a sale where items that have not sold, I bring and I lower the price by a couple dollars. You know, like if I bring him back, I might ask 30. But I don't bring everything back, and I'm not sure if I am going to bring him back. So it's really kind of a crapshoot. If you wait for that, I get a lot of emails after my sales, and so it's a crapshoot to wait to see if it goes on sale, right? So don't count on it. Just like I don't do recaps. A lot of resellers do recaps and then they lower the prices a lot as they're doing it. And I totally understand it. It's because you don't want to get stuck with all this inventory. Like, I totally get it. I just bring so many items at a time, and I have skeletal issues in my back. So I can't, I just can't do that. I could bring 15 items and do that, but no, I can't. It's not how I roll. I used to, not anymore. Starting bid of this is so much fun. This is so much fun. This was for me the second to sweetest one. So I decided to bring it today. I mean, I seriously, the lot that I just got is at least 350 items. So, and it's, it's all costume. There's some medium range, 1 or 2 high end, but it's costume. And that's my first love. This is spectacular. This is a, good Lord, the orange, brown, white shells. Not polka. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, it fits on that finger, so I'm going to presume it's probably, and it's a little daisy. See the inside? 1960s, 1970s. The fact that it fit on that finger, and it's nice and thick, and because it's shell, it has survived without a single ding this whole time. Because it fit on my pinky, it's probably a 7.5. Oh no, it was comfortable. Yeah, it's bigger. It's an 8. It's a size 8. It's nice. Size 8, starting at 18. I think it's beautiful. I think it would go with anything. And, you know, you want your summer accessories. Starting bid of 18. I think that's pretty good. My rings are not, they're not going to come back. And, you know, if you're here watching and there's something in particular that you're really interested in, brooches, plastic, rhinestone, rings. I have costume and sterling silver, necklaces. Drop it in the chat, please, because I just keep pulling, and you know I will continue to do that. And also maybe say hi. Gets really boring when I start doing this, and when I start doing this where it's just me, price, 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 I usually wind up closing early because I'm like, oh, this is not the day for selling. And that's okay. That's okay. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself and not sell. It's just boring for me. And I think maybe it's boring for you. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not boring for you. I am not you. So let's do a costume ring. I did test this. Hi, Becky. I know you are, darling. I know. So I did test this, and because I was really curious, and it did hold up with the 14 karat gold for over a minute before it started to disappear. And I had pulled it aside because I was wondering if perhaps it was gold electroplated. And I didn't pull the price over. Sorry. And indeed, the way that it tested with the acid, it's gold electroplate with these inset green stones. The other reason I did that was because I don't have a presidium, but I was like, gosh, that looks so much like peridot. Now, if this really was peridot, it would not, I can't imagine it would be that large and put onto an electroplated gold ring. So therefore, I'm selling it as costume. And sometimes I'm wrong. It happens. I don't know everything. So they're also not open to the light. Usually a semi-precious stone would be open to the light. And I would say this is probably more like an 80s. And I'm going to bring in a little bit more higher end in a minute. And it is 5.5. 5.5. $8. I think it's beautiful, but you know, and I like costume. I like precious as well, obviously, right? But I wear a lot of plastic. I wear a lot of costume because it's fun, it's funky, it's got history, and unless I'm totally in love with the piece, which because I love costume jewelry, sometimes I am, I don't have to panic if it got lost. If this gets lost, I'm going to panic. If that got lost at $8, I'm not going to panic. Okay. Well, y'all, how about this? This is really pretty. I suspect it's modern, but I love what's happening. Blue, peridot green, and the like cherry red. And the cherry red is plain and super bright. The middle stones, the blue, are AB coated. And then you've got the green. And then you've got, I don't know, I'm going to suspect it's like a brass and copper. It almost looks like a Christmas wreath, doesn't it? Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. Hi, Jessie. How are you? I hope you're having a fabulous day. And there's the back. And see, here's the thing. I don't think this is Temu. However, Temu is starting to make these type of brooches. And the main way to tell is by having it in your hands. And the back like this will often have so many lines from where the mold is, like too many. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Also, it'll feel really chintzy. I don't think this is Temu, although that doesn't preclude that it was made in China. Buy it now, $4. It's nice out. Excellent. It's a beautiful day here. It's about 70. And yesterday it had been raining for about 2.5 days. So it was a perfect day for all that insane burning to be going on. That really, God, talk about, it started at 8 in the morning till literally they left at 5:30. And this, talk about my nervous system. 2 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. Also because I'm the fire safety gal. I put our road shed fire safety council together, got it on the map through our county, spent years sending emails and putting together meetings with the fire chiefs and the specialists and and educating everyone about stuff, getting evacuation tags, you name it, I did it. And so to watch them, even though they're professionals, to watch them burn in the way that they did, I was just like, ah! Everything in me was just like, I just want to tell them to stop. It was really hard. And then the thought of like, oh my God, if I'm the cause because I hired them of like an actual wildfire, even though everything was wet, what does that say about me? So there was a lot going on in my brain. Oh my God. A lot going on in my brain. Okay. This is actually an excellent price for this, believe it or not. I think it's $5. And from the research that I did on this company is still around. They're down in Southern California. And the only thing it says inside is HB and 9. And I think 9 is the design. And these are likely CZs because it's a like middle of the road, low high end company. It is so much fun. This is the back, really, really well made. Look at that. Excuse me, it too holds up on the edges as gold plate. Gold plate. So just gold plate. So it is a gold plate over some other metal. Look at the back. And then I'm sorry, what is my deal? So much pollen, so much smoke. I'm going to be suffering from that for several days. It does this, which is just fun. I mean, obviously you can't do that when you're wearing it. It sparkles like crazy. And like I said, I don't think I can show this to you. I had a hard time seeing it. And then once I saw it, I was like, well, what the heck does that mean? There it is. There. HB and 9. And see how there's light open for the stones? These are CZs. And fat in the middle. And notice how it's different. Those two are medium, and these are thin, and this is the thicker one, and this one's raised up in the middle. Ever so slightly. I think it's fabulous. And these are online for, I don't want to keep saying it, but look it up. Take a picture, a screenshot, and look it up. Okay, this one is really hard to tell the size because it's 5 in 1. So the top is at an 8. The bottom is at an 8 3/4. So I'm going with the middle, which would be an 8 1/2. Okay. However, it has that in the back. So it is flat inside. Well, it fits pretty loose right here. Let's call it an 8 1/4. Call it an 8 1/4. I love it. Take a screenshot and look up HB, the company. It will not be coming back. Okay, thank you for looking. I appreciate it. I know you got a lot of choices. Let's do, I'm going to do another necklace. How is everyone? Hello, hello. This is pretty fun. I love this. So I will explain what I mean about this in a second. First, let me try to show it to you without the other things. It's hematite. It is heavy. Hematite is a heavy stone, graduated sizes, going down to, what is that, about maybe 8 to 10 millimeters. So it is heavy. I could not wear it. So hematite, one of the things they started doing with hematite is, let me get this to focus. Hematite is traditionally steel gray. And I noticed right away that this had a lot of pinks in blues. Well, not a lot, but some. And I thought, is it picking up colors of what I'm wearing? What's going on? Because I know it's hematite. I think you can kind of see the pink shining in there. And so I researched hematite, and starting in, I think, the 90s, they sometimes just put a light, almost like an AB, a very thin AB coating on the hematite to draw out the color. And I think you can see it there just a little in the light. So it looks like Tahitian pearls. That's the idea. It looks like Tahitian pearls, but it is that heavy, heavy hematite. It just has a basic. So here you go. This is not set up correctly. That is the extender. Hold on. It is on cord. So this has been around probably since the late 80s, 90s. It has, your typical 3-inch extender. And then Zenzord, hi, how are you? This is so good. It is heavy though. And let's see. Hold on, Zen. I see what you said. Oh, Zen, it's fabulous. Did you look it up? So cool. I'm glad it's going to go to someone that's going to love it. 7. It's about 12 inches long, so about 24. So you know what? I wanna. Without the extender, it's gonna hit right here. Ooh, how pretty is that? With the extender, it would go down another, 3 inches. Yeah, if you can wear heavy necklaces, this is great. And these are selling like brand new, about $100. But it is heavy, so think about it. It is going right here. No, it's not. It's going in a bag, and then I'm going to get to you, my friend. Hold on. I want to put this in a bag so it doesn't knock around. Did I bring it at 33? I'm going to make a note of that. If I bring it back and drop it, it might be $2 drop, and I'm unsure. Okay, Zen, I'm here. I'm going to put it here because I'm unsure. Okay. Zen, yes, you may have the elephant if I can find it. Where did I put him? This is one of my favorite pieces I've had in a long time. Thank you, Zen. It's a good one. Thank you. Okay, let me put this in Zen's bag. Zen, I know you have a bag. The problem is, where is your bag? I'll find it. Give me a second. not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. I think you have a bag. You should have a bag. You would usually have a bag. Maybe you, oh yes you do. You got the bar pin and the, yep, there you go. Zin's bag. And who is this? Uh-oh. As long as I'm at it, I need to take a second and Billy bought these, but if I don't poke these into the paper right now, they're gonna get lost. And when I go, one of the things as a reseller, packing, invoicing is not such a big deal, but packing, even just jewelry, can be a big deal. And if you don't create some kind of system to manage whose is what in the very beginning, talking about wasting time. Oh, really? Well, kismet, my friend. I'm so glad. Okay. I'm going to do another buy it now. This one, these are really interesting. Really interesting. White elephant. You know, in the San Francisco Bay Area, there was our little tiny museum in Oakland, which isn't so tiny, but it had white elephant sale, and it was just for the weekend. And it became so popular that now I think it lasts for 2 whole weeks. They have a huge warehouse. They accept donations all year long, and you have to buy a ticket if you want early entry, because like all the resellers go and whatever. Oh my God. I mean, I haven't been in years because of that. It's just like, yeah, you know, I'd rather go to the Santa Rosa and Petaluma Antique Fair or the Alameda Antique Fair, where, I mean, you pay like $5 or something to get in. But, you know, these tickets to get in, I'm talking like $25 to $100, and it's a giant warehouse. And I'm like, no. Yeah, I don't want to be with hundreds and hundreds of people. No. Okay, so this was interesting. I had to do a whole dive on this. Never seen it before. I was like, what the heck is going on? Sorry. So I believe I'm correct, but you know, this one was really hard for me. I spent a long time researching this. Do you see the little symbols on here? There's like a little bird in the middle. And other little symbols. Okay, now on the other side, it's the same. And now, and on this side, you have this little design. Okay. As my computer changes its light. Then look what you have. It's Gusamante, I believe is how you spell it, right? Hold on. It says 925, and then it says Goose, Gus, G-U-S. Nope, G-U-S-M-I. Goosemi Mano. Goosemi Mano. Let me put this in here because this is confusing. That is the name. It is a men's bracelet. Really nice links. And this spins. Hold on. Probably if I was holding it better. This spins while you wear it. So it's meant to be like a fidget kind of thing. It spins. Okay, now you do like this. It unclamps. It's even got, yeah, so what spins is this right here. This spins. One of those sets of, I don't know, are those perhaps another culture's astrological signs? I don't know, because I believe this person is Italian. Now, here's the issue. It even has the design down there. Here's the issue. I looked this up. It even says 925. I looked this up because I was like, what in the heck? And I have two of them. I was like, it doesn't look like 925, but it also does. So, okay. These, when they're sterling silver, sell for used $250. They're all over the internet. I don't know who this person is. I tested this for silver and it held for 40 seconds before it disappeared. So I do not believe that this is sterling silver. It says 925. I do not believe it is. I do not believe it ever was. I don't believe that the ones that they're selling online are actually sterling silver unless they're just talking about the clasp. Or I'm totally wrong and out of my mind. I do not know. But I have to go based on what I saw. I mean, every single one you see advertised says it's sterling silver. Every single one. And there's a couple different types. So then I kind of have to assume that maybe I'm missing something, but I also have to go by what I see. So that's what I did, and that's why I'm selling it for $20. And you may be getting an incredible deal. I have no idea. And just because it's for a gentleman doesn't mean a woman couldn't wear it. It just fits me, and I am a 7.25. And I love this really fancy closure and the fidgety part. Goose me mang. There you go, Kathy. Yes. It's a whole thing, Kathy. And every single one that is listed, and there's slightly different designs, are all listed as 925. So y'all tell me. Yeah. 200. I know, Kathy. I know. So I'm confused. It's at the very least absolutely worth $20. So y'all think about it. I have two of them. I tested it. I will test it again. But I mean, maybe it's 925 plated. Lord have mercy. It confused the bejesus out of me. So I could be making one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. The size is a 7.25 Zen. So that means 2.5 inches wide on your wrist across, 2.5 inches, the dimension here, inside to inside, 2.5 inches. And the weight, yeah, if it's sterling silver, I mean, this is heavy. If it's sterling silver and I'm screwing up, then someone is making out like a bandit. That's what I know. I got a huge heavy box to move in order to weigh. I'm sorry. I have, like I said, I just got in 350 pieces in a giant lot, and I'm getting, gosh, in a couple weeks, about another 100 pieces. So, Lord. 1.3 ounces. Too small for me. Yep. $7. It's because it's confusing, Kathy. It's very confusing. So it's 1.3 ounces, which I don't know how to do that into grams. I mean, an ounce, a lid, man. I think it's 16 grams. So yeah, anyone want to indulge in a mystery and go down a rabbit hole I went down? Have at it. I don't know. That's what I got. Isn't that? And another one on Postmark for 45. See? Who is this jeweler? I mean, I even tried to figure that out. So yeah. Thank you all for looking. I'm not trying to talk you out of a sale. I'm just painfully honest with my customers of I'm confused. Yes, and then it is too small for you. But maybe you know a smaller gentleman or a nephew, or because I don't know, dig into the mystery and get back to me. Dig into the mystery and get back to me. I did. I spent probably 40 minutes on it, and I could not come to any firm conclusion. So I just was like, well, I'm going to tell them what I did, and then they can make up their own mind. It's very confusing. So these are sterling silver plated. I love these. Totally late 60s, early 70s. Like half shell hoop earrings. And the minute I saw these, I could tell just by the little bit of tarnishing that they're silver plate. I am testing everything, and I did test these, and it did hold up, but it was very light. But it held up. So silver plate, they're slightly heavy, but not super heavy. They're really pretty. You're welcome, Zen. No problem. I know that was a long story, but it was an important story. They're very, very pretty. I loved these type of earrings when I was in my teens, which is, getting out of mom's jewelry box or buying them at the time if they were still around. Yeah. And they are 1 1/4 inches long and 1 inch wide. Cards. It's another thing. I got all these on cards, so I'm leaving them. But see the little bit of tarnishing? that's what piqued my curiosity, and I put him aside to test. They're just enough concave, but not too much. Yep. Nice. Okay. Moving on. I don't do recaps, so if anyone comes in and you want to see what I've dropped already, get back to me. And I'll decide about these. I'm not writing down prices of what did or didn't sell, so we'll see what happens. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know who's here, so I don't know. I mean, I know a couple people that are here, but I don't know what people are interested in particularly. Backlight. Oh, this is a day when I should not be spelling. And actually, a really good speller. Actually, like writing papers at school and just always writing. I've always been like a whiz at it. I was like corrected everyone's grammar all the time. But yeah, I don't know. So these are all tested. These are all Bakelite. They are tortoise shell. There's the widest one and like the two spacers, as you would call it. Bracelet set. It's the whole set. I did test them, and I do have my own set of these that are not Bakelite. So, but these are, I tested. They're really, really rich in color. Tortoiseshell. Some tortoiseshell is a little boring. These are not in any way boring. Maybe it's because of the Bakelite sheen. I'm not sure. Some tortoiseshell that's a little more modern is almost more like a wood grain pattern. But that is a mixture of Bakelite colors, and they're nice and smooth on the inside. I tested them. I promise. Because I actually tested all my bangles that didn't fit me anymore. And I only had a couple, other than the ones that are carved, come out Bakelite. And I put these in a separate place to denote, oh, these are the Bakelite ones. So see, the large one still fits me. I'm a 7.25 and it goes over my hand, which is not that big. 7.25. The Goosamy Mang, Kathy. Yeah. It's so, yeah. These are a little smaller. So I could put that on and then struggle to get it off, but I'm not going to. So I would say in order to wear the whole set, because my hands are not that big, even though they're short, stubby fingers, my hands are really not that big. I mean, you know, they're not slender, but they're not big. Probably pretty average size. I would say the whole set, size 7. And in the sun, you see the colors? They're really terrific. But I tested everything, and I put the ones that came up Bakelite in a separate container. And I haven't shown these in a long time. So there you go, $20 for a set of Bakelite. And that won't come back. If anyone's interested in rock crystal necklace and screw-on earrings, sterling silver backs, let me know. They're not cheap. It's expensive. I am going to bring them tomorrow. But if anyone, and Kathy, how are you, honey, by the way? If anyone is in here today that is interested in that at $150, let me know and I'll show it. Otherwise, it's coming tomorrow. Thank you for doing that, Kathy. And seriously, Kathy, how are you? How are you? This is beautiful. Okay, this is a starting bid of okay. This is a beautiful, beautiful ring. I think it might be, I think it's a wax mold. It's very old. It's worn down. It's been around a while. It's gorgeous. It's on the smaller side. Let's wait. Look at that. All that plastic on my nails is almost worn off. It's almost gone. Oh, come on, computer. You see the prongs, how they're so uneven? This was made pre-1950. It does have the traditional wire wrap here, but then it's like a wax cast. It's a big, big piece of lapis. I think this is wax because of the kind of molten as opposed to, but I'm not sure if that's right. Let's see if it'll, if it will adjust. It's actually really, really pretty. But you can see how worn it is. Sterling silver. I think I'm going to do my loop to show you. It's a very kind of Native American style. I'll do my loop in a minute. And now the computer decided to get brighter. See, and it's even the, so a wax mold though, I don't know that it would have the carving down on the side, the inside of the band and the top of the band. So it may just be that it's very worn and it's older. See what I mean about how that piece right there made me think wax, but that might just be the end soldering job to get the band on. But then the band itself is intricately carved. It's carved on the top, And it's all very smooth and worn down. Even the back had a design that went around it that from so much wear has worn down. So this has some history. I wish I knew what it was. And so you know what I mean by the prongs. They're jagged and uneven and everywhere, which means they're hand cut. They weren't cut by a jeweler's saw, or they would be even. They're not even spaced evenly. And that wire ring right there going around, traditional kind of Native American style. That doesn't mean that it is, though. I can't tell you that. I do not know. I do not know. And it is a size 5 1/4. So it's a small one. It's a size 5 1/4 with a lot of history and well loved, with a large piece of lapis. Well loved. Matches my shirt. Okay. Moving on. I wonder why it is that I have a hard time selling rings. I mean, I have costume jewelry. I've never, I mean, I watch all kinds of people sell rings. And for some reason, people don't want to buy them from me. I don't know what that's about. Oof. This I feel like I need to do research. I wanted to bring this ring today. But I think I'm going to bring it tomorrow. I've shown it before. It was sold to me. I'm pretty sure I called it lapis. But after just looking at that really dark blue lapis and then this stone that has a lot of white and is very light blue, I'm thinking it's some other stone entirely. So this is a preview for tomorrow. And there's the setting. This is stunning. Sterling silver. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna research it for tomorrow. Okay, let's do a buy it now. Are these AB? Nope. Good Lord. These are beautiful. These are absolutely beautiful. And looking at them, I did not. These are clip-on earrings. Oop, I didn't bring the price over. Buy it now, 15. I got several, like, I don't know, 20, 30 pairs of these gorgeous, some are Dionne and Juliana, clip-on rhinestone earrings. I did not look in here for a maker's name, which of course I do not see. The other thing, the stones, it was in a plastic bag, a kind that I hate. So I didn't see the clarity on these stones until just now. Here's the middle. Here's the sides. And you see how that is worn down to a different metal. So I don't know if these are gold tone or had a gold plating over them. I don't have my testing out. The reason why I'm really wondering that is because the clarity of those stones, they don't remind me so much of rhinestones as they do CZs. So I'm a little confused. Put it way up here. Elegant and beautiful, no matter what it is. And like I say, I didn't test it. I'm not going to test it. There's just something about it. Doesn't say anything anywhere, which would mean it was just coated. There's just I deal in a lot of rhinestones, and these are much more like a CZ than a rhinestone. So I'm confused by it. And they don't have an AB. They're just picking up the gold around it. So I'll just show you this in the middle. And they're about an inch across. Okay. Okie dokie. Moving on. Is there anyone here who wants something in particular? Yeah, my dog and cat are playing. Sorry, I did that backwards. Now, these are another interesting item. They are pretty new on the market, and the prices are all over the map. So, when I first bought them, I didn't think that they were sterling silver. I just thought they were totally costume because they're adjustable. And if one doesn't sell, I'll keep it for myself. That'll be fine. And I also wasn't even clear if they were real stones. Howsoever, they are. So, coral, carnelian, and turquoise, and 800 it's not sterling, 800 silver. I tested them. Oh, and lapis. So this one kind of looks like one of their gods, perhaps. They stand up really high. And they're new on the market, so the prices are all over the map. And again, I showed this once before, and I wanted to have the Buddhist prayer thing. It's like an oval triangle. It's an object that the Buddha held, and that, anyways, I can never remember the name of it. And this reminds me of both that and or just the four directions, a lotus flower. So this has good Lord, coral and turquoise. $800 silver, stands up really high, and it's your choice starting at 22. They have never been adjusted. They do not, they do not say anything about sterling because they're Tibetan sterling, but they are. I tested them. It holds, but it holds low because they are not sterling. They are 800. I think they're really cool. I particularly like this one. Hi, Barb. How's it going? Did Karen just end? She had some really lovely stuff today. She's very enjoyable to watch. Hi, Pamela. How are you? Welcome in. So they're about 3/4. The round one is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And the one that's kind of like a face, but that's just how I see it, 3/4 of an inch wide and an inch long. They are, so Pamela's in at 22 choice on these. I love these. And like I said, they're all over the map. So I kind of picked a middle road. And let me tell you, you would have to come in at 23 or higher. And they are these rings. Let me see. Currently, without being adjusted any wider or smaller, this one is at a 7. And this one, which is the smallest of non-adjustment, is right above a 5. So it would probably, this one would probably go to about a 7. This one, I'm thinking it would go to almost an 8. Okay, so nobody else is coming in for above Pamela. So I'm going to say fair warning. How are you, Pamela? Good. You're doing good. Excellent. Okay, nobody's coming in. I've talked about it long enough. Okay, Pamela. Which one or ones did you want? I love these. They're a little heavy too. I mean, they're not hollow. I think they're so much fun. And I think these are, with the coral. So you want this one, right? This one has coral, lapis, turquoise, and carnelian. Is that right, Pamela? Or the round one? Just say round or teardrop. Okay. Boom. So Pamela's getting the teardrop. Does anyone want this one for 22? Nope. Okay. Well, it will come around another time. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Let me put it in your bag, Pamela, which I have to find. Which one is your bag, Pamela? There you go. There's Pamela's bag. And in fact, hold on. Hold on. I'm just dropping it in there. I don't like that. Thank you. I want to put it in a bag. Ta-da. Okay. Thank you. And if anyone knows, I mean, I'm going to do my thing, but see, I've been calling that lapis, and I think that's how it was sold to me. But does lapis come in super navy blue and this light with white blue? I don't know. If anyone knows and you want to help me by giving me an educated guess before I do my research, let me know. Okay, let's do a necklace. I am pretty sure, without doing research, just because I'm a nature lover my whole life, that this is a fossil. I think it's Amazonite. It's the name of it. I'm going to take this one off and move it over here. Whew. I had to walk around my property so much yesterday with all the huge burning brush piles. And the last thing I had to do was go down a little slope outside my door, kind of into my blower meadow, if you want, and back up. And when I came back in the house, my back was just like out. And I was like, oh, dang it. So let's let the computer adjust itself. It's better now, but all night long, and when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, geez. And my neck was killing me for some reason. So that's extra bright. But you see, I'm pretty sure that's that shell Amazonite embedded in a stone. I don't think it's something else. And actually, there you go. It's a kind of a darker brown. And it is on a sterling silver chain. I think it's really cool. Hold on. Sorry. And this is not a crack. That is just a matrix. See, there's the inside of the shell and the outside. Is Amazonite the correct word, y'all? I think it is. And there's the back. And you can see that same matrix line runs through the back. And it's pretty thick. It's not unheavy. Very unisex. I love this. And then it's just a tiny sterling silver snake chain. Ammonite. Thank you. I was like, the Z didn't sound right. Ammonite. Thank you, Zen. I knew that wasn't right. And this is just a little sterling silver snake chain. And it's pretty short chain. I think this is a 16-inch, which I thought was appropriate for the size of the pendant. Now look, in a couple weeks, I'm going to have a bazillion of pendants, and I'm going to ask you all. So it would hang probably right about here. And it's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. I am going to ask you all a question, which I'm going to start asking at every sale. I love fossils. You know, I wanted to become an anthropologist or an archaeologist. Yeah, I did. I'm going to be getting a ton of pendants, silver, gold, stones, and charms. Would you like me to have sterling silver, gold chains and put them on for you? And also like charms, put them on bracelets for you? Or would you prefer to pick out your own? Like buy the pendant or the charms, and then I could have some and I could ask you at that time if you wanted it. Because I'm afraid, you know, that I might put a bunch of things with something and then no one would want it because I did that. And then that's a lot of work for me, right? So if anyone cares to answer, that would be fabulous. I need feedback, y'all. Feedback. Because I have some plain chains that are really cool right now, but I would be buying specific sterling silver, some gold, and hi Heidi, how are you? And some bracelets for charms. So let me know, please, if you have an opinion. And if you don't have an opinion, well, okay. What can I do about that? I hope you're doing well, Heidi. Nobody liked this. I love this. I don't know. This could be one of those things. That I keep. I don't know. Okay. Is there anyone here? Let's see. How about this? This is cute as all get up. Get up, get out, get on. Yes, Becky. Yep. And I'm having two different torques, different sizes come in. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Zen. Yeah, right? Right, Heidi. And you would think that, but I gotta tell you, I often find I'll try to sell something that is just the pendant and it won't sell. And then I put it on a chain and it sells. So I'm like, okay. It's so yeah, I think I'll just offer. Oh no, Barb. I did. And then I told you I was going to get back to you, and I totally blew you off. I didn't mean to. Oh, my good Lord. Barb. These 3, and they were starting bid of 20, correct? Yes, Heidi. Yes. Barb, these, and they were 20. No. Barb. No, if you want them, they're yours for 20. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that at all. My bad. My bad. Or put in 20, sold. I apologize. And thank you all for giving me your opinion. That was important. Because after all, I am buying and curating for you. And so I want to know what your choice is. Right? So, okay. So this is a, whoa, nope. Now, this is just adorable. This is what I have to say about this. Him's adorable. I was surprised he wasn't older. There is the Hong Kong tucked up in there. It is a roll under, fold over clasp. It's just lightweight metal. Hong Kong. That is enamel over metal. Pinocchio. There you go. It almost looks like he was anime, right? He really, it's enameled on a very thin piece of metal, but he was drawn and then by hand, you can see like the lines and then just stamped over and over and over, and he's giving you an apple. And currently his nose is not too long. He's about, almost an inch around. Anyone know a Pinocchio? Nice kitsch. Really nice kitsch. If I was a kitsch seller, even though these are listed for not that much, I'd be starting him off at about 14. Adorable. Adorable. Anyone have a Pinocchio in their life? Well, Barb must. I'm kidding, Barb. Thank you, Barb. I think he's, I don't know. I love stuff like this. Thank you. I do. Oh, hold on, Pamela. Pinocchio. He was a little bit hard for me to part with, even though he's, whatever. I was just like, oh, I like him. Bye, Pinocchio. Let me put him in a bag. Okay, now Pamela's asking me a question of great import. Bags everywhere. I still have, let me put this, the green gold tone ring for $8. Remove that. This one and the beautiful red brooch. I love this. For $4. Correct, Pamela? Just say yes. Okie dokie. So I'm going to do a, thank you, Pamela. Sold to, let's put TP. Anyone remember the motor oil joke? The red brooch was $4. and 8. Thank you, Pamela. So, anyone else remember that? There was a motor oil, TP motor oil. TP motor oil. And I swearing to God, it was a joke about toilet paper. It was in the 1960s. So you were either there and you remember or you don't. Yeah. I love this colors on here. It's heavy. It's nice. Good choice. Thank you. Okay. They are in your bag, Pamela. They are now. Nobody remembers that? See, on Monday, I became officially a senior citizen, and I swear to God, people are like, this girl's crazy. I don't remember any of that stuff. These are beautiful. These are beautiful. But, you know, if you've been around me for a while, you know how much I love check glass. So, they are screw-ons, not clips. So sorry. Heidi, well then there you go. And you weren't over here, so now my computer, there you go. They're screw-on, not clip-ons. And what I want to say this. They're very old, and I'm not used to seeing check glass covered in the back. Therefore, I'm going to hesitate on if it is. It doesn't mean it isn't. I'll show you the back in a second. I need to turn my fan off. Sorry. Doesn't mean it isn't, but that deep, deep green grass color, usually when they're this old, it's check glass. Here's the screw on. Now, thank you, Zen. I'm a pensioner. You see the back? It's open, but they put a coating over the glass. Just a gold tone coating. My experience with check glass is that it's usually just open to the light. However, that doesn't mean there's a lot of check glass out there. And see how it's down in there? But the reason why check glass is such a big deal to me and those who collect it is because it's some of the nicest glass / rhinestone that was ever made with the formula that they had. And train loads and train loads were taken out of Czechoslovakia right before and during the beginning of the war. A lot of it wound up in Japan, and I think some in Austria, because the war was destroying the factories, and that was the end of the quality of this kind of glass. But there was a lot saved. So these are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. And they're gorgeous enough to me that at $20, I would take them to a jeweler and have the screw back cut off and have a post soldered on, and then just wear them as a post earring. Yes, I would. Okay. Those will not be coming back at a didn't sale last week. I can't go lower than 20, even though see I'm just scrupulously honest over here. I'm like, yeah, I believe they're check glass. However, I want to point out that blah blah blah, because that's how I roll. Hold on. I don't ever want to sell someone something and not point out a flaw or a possibility or something that's a little different about it, because I'm not here to rip you off. Do you know, like 5 nights ago, I opened one of these cans. It's just Waterloo, and that's the brand it was. And it's got all that compressed seltzer air in there. And I just did what you do. I just went to pop the tab, and it had been in a cool, just my pantry under the stairs, which stays very cool even in the summer. And then it was upstairs, and upstairs was a little warm, but it wasn't blazing hot. And I just barely got the tab up, and it blew my finger back. Like the air in there exploded and blew my finger backwards and actually hurt my finger for 24 hours. And I was like, oh my God, did someone try to make a bomb? Like, what is going on? And then I read about it. Thank you, Heidi. I read about it, and apparently it's really not uncommon. So the way that you make sure that that never happens is tap the sides of the can lightly like this, up and down on the side, and that'll bring the air up to the top. Oh my God, I was just like, yow, man. Did someone try to make a bomb? Is someone trying to kill me? Like, what is going on? Okay. Completely freaked me out. Moving on with my sale. Okay, I'm going to show this. Let's do it. This will probably come back tomorrow. This is the lowest I've ever brought it. And I'm bringing it this low now, but I don't know that I'll do it again. I think this is the last time I'm going to bring it, and if it doesn't sell, I am opening a store next month, and it'll go in my store. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but I've had so many things to catch up on. So this is from Trading Post, not a pawn shop in Arizona. That's the tag. That's the person's signature. They've got their social security number on there, the whole deal. It was never, even though the prices are written down, like as if they actually paid back the entire $32. Replacement value $75. I mean, what? The seller was Robert John, which is a very common Native American name, because there's a lot of artists, Robert John, but they did not do this because I looked and looked. Pawn out miscellaneous, $829.92. The pawned item was redeemed by payment of the total amount due on 8/92. But the borrower didn't sign it. So Kathy. So I don't know. But I do know that I've researched this up, down, and sideways many different times. That tag, it is dead pawn. Look at the back of this. See the hammering and how long the pin back is? So I'll say this to anyone here who doesn't know. Dead pawn is traditionally an item that's been passed down in indigenous peoples' families for generations, and it is their wealth. And way too often they had to pawn an item to make ends meet for the month, and then they would come back and get the item back. And sometimes they never made it back. So back then, to have valued this at $35, I don't even know what they were thinking. This is a real turquoise. It is stabilized. So it has that feeling of like it's the stone, but also it has that feeling of like the clear coat. It's just stabilized. It is, I believe it's Zuni, even though it's in Arizona, not Navajo. You can see that I'll talk about this a lot. The prongs are all different sizes. So it's number one, the brooch back says that, but number two, the prongs, it is jeweler tooth saw. It's huge. If you didn't want this as a brooch, which I don't know why you wouldn't. Thank you, Becky. You could. Fact of the matter is, why don't I have something here? If I had a necklace right here, all you would have to do is have a long necklace and put the brooch on the necklace and bring it together, and then let the rest of the necklace hang. Double duty. Easy peasy. It's incredible. The color of this turquoise, it's real turquoise. The color, I bought it from a very reputable source. The color of that turquoise leads one to speculate about many minds. And turquoise, last thing I'm going to say about this, turquoise, the majority of turquoise is stabilized. And often it's even crushed into a powder and kind of reconstituted. And then the resin is put in it. And I believe this is from one of those incredible mines in Arizona. And it was crushed and reconstituted. So I see Pamela is in. You have not seen this before? Oh, Pamela. Listen, I've been asking 150. So 138, if you look up dead pawn and this size of a brooch. Thank you, honey. And you just know it's a really, really good deal. This brooch, I could take it out of the bag with the dead pawn and just throw that part of the history away and ask $300 for this brooch. Yeah, that's a fact. It is 2 3/4 inches long and 2 inches across. Yeah. So anyone else who's interested, you need to come in at $5 higher. It's beautiful. So just as long as I'm on that reconstituted jag, because I'm all about educating, right? what I know, which isn't a lot, but it's enough, I like to share. See this piece of older turquoise on this ring? Let's let the light get in there. If anyone's interested in this, I'll bring it up. Has the matrix, and it's a much darker blue, but it too has like a light coating, and you don't feel any of the cracks or bumps or surfaces because it's been fortified, enhanced. Okay? Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not throwing the history away, Pamela. No, I'm not. But I'm just saying I could. All of this time, I could have just been like, well, to hell with all this and then just sell it. But it's got history. So I'm not doing that. Okay. Someone named Pamela is getting a screaming deal. This is not just that brooch. It is incredible history. Nobody wants to come in. Fair warning. Fair warning. Pamela has been a buyer from me for a long time. So if no one wants to come in at $5 more and Pamela gets it, I feel that that's perfectly marvelous. Pamela has Pamela has bought a lot from me for a long time. At least a year and a half. I mean, thank you, Pamela. I think, Pamela, you were buying from me while I was still caring for my dad, right? Yeah. Long time. Thank you, honey. I miss my dad. I miss my mom. But that's a little bit harder of a story. But I really, my dad and I got so close and we learned so much about each other and really enjoyed each other's company. And it was a roller coaster. Whew. But I miss him. He was a really good person. Okay, this is going in your bag, and I'm going to put it in a bag. I wish I had a blue bag. I don't have a blue bag. So it's going to go in a shiny pink bag. And I will put it like in the bottom or something somehow so the tag doesn't get smushed. Great piece. Yay. I was like hesitating. I was like, no one is ever interested in this. I should just list it and, make $200. But then I was like, so thank you. Bubble wrap for sure. Yep. Fact of the matter is, Pamela, because you have a large bag, well, I still have a couple small boxes, so we'll be good. It's all good. Okay. I'm going to do a starting bid. Thank you, Pamela. Pamela, have you been buying from me since before my father passed, when I was still caretaking? Had a totally different background because I was in my mom's office. Isn't that right? I swear that's right. Box in a box in a box. So, could you eat us something on a train, in a car, with a blah 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 fox, yada dot dot dot. Oh, okay. So right after. All right, Pamela. Yeah, still a long time. These are fabulous. So we all know I like my fantastic plastic, right? I have I think someone actually finally bought it. Either that or I took it back upstairs and put it in my stuff. This is really cool. This is plastic. I'm sure it's lucite. Let's take one off. There you go. And I had on a black enameled over chain, black and white plastic about this size, same carved design, if you will, but not with this. Let's let the computer catch up. Was that a Pulp Fiction joke? Did they use that in there as well? I mean, that's a dumb dad joke that I've been saying since the 70s. So it has this frosted opalescent white inside. There's the end cap. I would say these are from 50s. And then this really, I love anytime you're talking these rhinestones, whether they're the rondelles or the little round ball spacer pieces. I love them. And they throw out light. I don't know if it'll do it here or not. The lucite is. Maybe it's the other way around. Nope, it doesn't want to. But in the sun, throws out tons of light. Let's see if they glow. So here's what's happening with these. The inside, and I need new batteries in this. The inside, whatever that is, the crackly white, has some green in it. The outside does not. And I don't think you're seeing that very well. And this is a good reminder to me to put that over there. Needs batteries. Here's the clip-on. These were probably a pretty high-end maker. And can you imagine the set that it came with? They're too heavy for me, or I mean, they're not super heavy, but they're still too heavy for me. Yeah, I love these. I do. I love them. And these, I'll give you a heads up. These would be really easy for me to take off the clip-on and put onto a gold or a silver tone wire. So if someone loves these and wants these, I will undo this and put it on a wire. I can't, I don't have the studs with the little loop. I would have to order 50 or 100 of them on Amazon. And I don't think I have any of those around in my repair kit, but I could put them onto a wire. And I would do that for free. So if you're interested, or if you're watching this on the replay, please let me know. I love these. Fact of the matter is, they're heavy for me, but now that I said that, it's got me thinking. That's dangerous. Don't get me thinking. Don't get me thinking. Okay, let's try this dang thing. I'm going to try a couple things. Well, let's try this first. This is a J. Crew. I'm pretty dang sure 80s, early 90s. It is I think it's outstanding. It's going to be a buy it now. I really, the more I looked at this and the more that I played with it, the more I was like, dang, that thing is really cool. I was surprised it was a J. Crew because they definitely made it look like it's vintage, right? That animal print that was so in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. It started transitioning in the late 80s. Here it has the extender. It's about an inch. And it's a heavy chain. And where does it say? There's a place where it says J. Crew. There's a reason why I know that. Because I didn't know. Where does it say it? I know it says it. Because that's how I knew what it was. Good Lord. Now I can't find it? That's ridiculous. Okay. Maybe it's just because I researched it. I thought it said it on the tag, but I'm not seeing it, and I'm not going to, or on the clasp. I'm not going to keep going down that route. But so now look. Oh, I didn't even pull it over. Sorry about that. They made this to look like 1950s. Those are, hold on. One more time. Heavy duty acrylic, feels like glass. And then that pattern is enclosed in there. And they made the panel and the cuts look like 1950s. I'll show you the back. This style was so popular, right, in the 50s. I love this. And animal prints are back. Animal prints are back. It's very heavy. And you see what I mean? How they did that. The two pieces with the jump rings, that's a 1950s style. And then it's articulated. Yeah. And then the way they did the middle piece is a little confusing. See that? Because that makes it like you could hang it on a necklace, but it's already on a necklace. So does that make sense? No. But hey, I don't know. Without the extender, this is 16 inches, and drop down like this, it's like 18 inches. I think it's really pretty. And if you want to layer it, you could, but with these kind of panel links like this, I like it just like that. And I would prefer it like that on bare skin. Blonde or brown hair, dyed hair, animal print hair. Yep. Pretty nice. I think it's great. And, you know, anyone who's here who's new to my channel, my first love is costume. I love plastic fantastic, but I also have, you know, the semi-precious. I jump around. And I will always do custom. And this piece that I have on, let me remove that. Thank you for looking. this red garnet sterling silver piece that would fit on a small torque, and I have it on this rolled snake chain, which is not sterling silver, but you could just buy the pendant, is available for sale. If you're interested, let me know. It's a great piece. Oops, didn't mean to hide it under my shirt. Sorry. That wasn't the point. Okay. So, well, I said band. I didn't say ring, but there you go. So see, this is what I mean. I go from J. Crew to this. This is less than I paid for it. I'm quite sure this is less than it's actually worth. It is a 925 for me. I love this gold, silver, gold. To me, I'll show you up close, but it looks like a oh, 1983 with a catalog. You know, I did not know that. In 1989. Interesting. Kathy, if anyone here who doesn't know my good friend Kathy, she is an encyclopedia of knowledge. I kid you not. And if she doesn't know, she's going to Google it and she's going to figure it out. She is. Kathy, I'm really glad that you're coming back and hanging out with me. I missed you. And I figured you were kind of, stepping back, taking a break, doing your thing, whatever. But, I missed you as my sidekick. So I want you to see the detail. I think this thing gets, so the reason why I'm saying floral is it's got those dainty little leaves going up. And then, hold on. Let me look at this. It's been a while since I've shown this. Oh, interesting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I've had this a while and I'm losing money on it. Those are little CZs. So that's meant to be worn in the front. Those are tiny little CZ chips. And then it has kind of like musical note swirl design. And then what I'm calling little like flower leaves. Maybe they're meant to be kind of an infinity. I'm not sure. And it does stand up to a point in the middle. You see that? It's very cool. Original company was named Popular Merchandise in 47. Good Lord. So I believe, see, there's the CZs. I forgot it had those. Honestly, I paid more than this. And this ring, just in the silver, is worth a lot more than what I'm asking. I believe this was like a wedding band. Or how about an anniversary gift? So these things are always, these are the ones that are always hard to measure. So you see how it's below the 8. Then the bottom is at a 9. So I cut this kind of in the middle, and I'm going to call it an 8.5. Especially because it juts out right there. So because it puffs out, the middle is larger than the actual band size. So I'm going to stick safe with an 8.25 to an 8.5. And if you purchase this and it wound up being too small, because it's one of those ones that's hard to measure, you could return it. Got an anniversary coming up. I think this is unisex as well. I don't, just depends on the gentleman, right? It doesn't, it's not right on that finger. And it's a little too tight on this finger. So, there you are. Okay. Thank you for looking. So I'm going to do about, 5 more. And then I'll be back on tomorrow. And tomorrow is my sale and chat and, sale and chat where we hang out and talk and sell and collect, right? So buy it now. I like to try to have Fridays be, a little chill. And it's a day where, I'm already doing it. I talk to you about what I think things are and, who made them and how to look for this so you understand that and yada, 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 right? So I do that already, but I take even more time on Fridays and just mostly high end, a little bit affordable. So this is an interesting ring. Oh, I didn't pull it over. And because I don't know everything and there's no way to always know everything, I like it when you all talk to me and give me feedback and tell me what you think. Don't just say, no, it's not that, but tell me, oh, I had one of those, or, actually that looks like, or I'm thinking that's 1980s and this is why, because I want to learn. So please talk to me and please tell me. I'm always learning. You can never know everything about any subject. So this is interesting. It's almost like a buckle ring, but that's a Celtic infinity knot in there. It's just a teeny tiny little sterling silver ring. But I love the little pattern. It does not fit me. It doesn't even fit me very well right there, or I would keep it. Yes, Heidi, right? Me as well. I mean, when you are buying from other sellers, when you are going through your mother's or grandmother's things, when you are at a thrift store, when you are looking at the things you have around your house and you're like, oh, I remember we talked about that clasp, or just now with the J. Crew, I talked about the panel and how the paneling, was started in the 1950s, etc. Right? And I also just, love to learn. I'm always doing a dive on different things. If I don't know what something is or why something is, or, I look it up. I read about it. I've always been that way. The library was one of my favorite places as a kid. So this is 6 inches, almost, I'm going with 6. It was sold to me as 6.5, but I don't really think it goes much below a 6. So to be safe, I'm going to say 6. $18 sterling silver. It's just a really nice little ring. It is what it is. It's definitely worth $18. Let me put that the library. Heidi, I used to go to the library and get the limit as a teenager and as a child too. But I remember as a teenager, I had a bike with a basket, and the limit of checking out books, I think it was 12. And I checked out 12 books a week and could barely get my bike home because the basket was so full. I loved every minute of it. Okay, let's see. How about this piece? This piece. Okay, I got 3 pieces here. And 1 over there. Yeah, Heidi. Yep. You know what's interesting? A lot of us who are into vintage jewelry, household items, etc., were intellectuals, were the kids who were in band, were the kids who hung out at the library, were the, we were different. Now, I was a very social butterfly, but we were really, we're an interesting group, and we are very intelligent for the most part. So remember, I showed this earlier, this beautiful carved vintage shell ring. I don't do recaps. So you've got about 15 minutes to go put your speed on double time and drop anything in the chat that you might be interested in. Or you can email me down there. I always get emails after my sales, and I honor my prices for 48 hours from each sale. Now, I have to sign up after both my parents passed, and I moved up here permanently because I inherited this homestead. I'm in a different county, and I need to go get a library card. We have a bookmobile and a teeny tiny library at our county fair, which just so happens to be in this valley. Yeah, I need to go get a library card. Thank you, Heidi. This is so... The light is not doing it justice, but it's the perfect links on this chain. So I have had a lot of seed bead bracelets lately that are vintage loomed. I mean, they are old. These are a modern thing that people are making, and I love them. Here's the back. But so honestly, I can tell the difference. There's a thread quality. There's just a whole thing. And this was not done. So here's the back. Pinks, whites, and golden shimmery, right? I love this. This is the toggle. It has 2 choices for length, and look at the front. Let's let it focus. This is crystal. This is a pink. I'm not sure. I don't think it's just glass in the white. Let me look at this, and I'll show it to you on the loop as well. The white, it's a mother of pearl. And then there's another, okay, I'll show it to you through the loop. And the pink, I think it might be a pink quartz or even perhaps a tourmaline. Do you see this? They're different. See this one? In all the colors, you probably don't. Number one, my computer light changed, and then it's not in focus. You see this? There was that sparkle right there that caught my eye. So that's mother of pearl. Square quartz. And then this light pink in here. Here's a square one right there. I love the square beads. And see here, there it is. It's almost like bubbles. And I don't know what these stones are. This is a glass vintage cut bead. Yep. More mother of pearl with a luster. It's really pretty. Someone's beeping at me. That's my daughter. Good. Okay. She was having some issues. I talked with her right before I came on. Barb has just bought it. But look, I have several more of these different colors that I'll be slowly bringing. I just want you to see. It took hours, and I just think summer. I'm glad you see what I see, Barb, because I think it's beautiful. Thank you, Barb. I love it too. And on my wrist, that's at a 7.25, and it's got room, so it could be made smaller. And it would fit, this would fit tightly a 7.5. So that's the middle of a lady's medium. Thank you. Let me put it in a bag. And Barb, I'm starting to understand that you and I have very similar tastes when it comes to the unique, the different, right? Thank you. Yep. 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 Now, if I could just get you to love Plastic Fantastic. I got to set that. I got to put it on my calendar to schedule that. Okay. This is a, hey, starting bid. of I know that's not how you spell that. Oh my Lord. I know that's not how you spell that. I've got to tell you. Yes, I did, Heidi. Well, and Heidi, you come from, the buttons, right? So the buttons and all the kitsch, we were already there, girl. I have had this way too long. No idea why. And I was going to bring this bar before you bought the other thing, period. So this has not targeted at you. This, I believe, was made in the 80s. I do not know the maker. That is a little mother of pearl toggle closure. Then you've got these medium side, really glitzy, almost a copper gold necklace in a rope. It's wrapped in like a rope wrap. Then it loops and comes down to this beautiful, and see, that's 1980s, 1970s, because this is a very traditional kind of 1970s pendant. You've got your mother of pearl. This is a much older, more yellowed, with your abalone traditional colors, pink colors, white colors, just little chips on this black. It's all heavily clear coated, and I think this is meant to be like an almost full moon, like 3/4 full moon. That's what I see when I look at that. It's on this very thick, heavily clear coated. I cannot tell you if it's resin or wood. Because it's clear coated on both sides. It is, I don't know if it's I'm assuming it's an artisan piece and not a department store piece. I've looked this up more than once over the years and have never been able to find anything like that. Do you, Kathy? And how old is it, do you think? You're talking about you have down here, right? The whole pendant? Do you remember where you got it? Or how old it is? I have never been able to find an image of this. So this is about 15 inches. And with the pendant, goes down to about 18. And again, any hair color. And you can feel, even with the clear coat, you can just feel the pieces set into whatever this is. And it's lightweight. It's not heavy. From Steph. And you would guess 80s. Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I didn't see Steph's, and I've never found another one. Maybe it was a pattern for artists out there. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know, but I know that I love it. Wouldn't it make a if this would lay flat? Yep. Okay. And you have a similar one from the 80s, but yours is a shell. Okay, so then it must have been an 80s thing. But I still don't think it was mass produced. I think it was artisan, but thank you. 80s. I will remember that. I appreciate your help, ladies. Thank you very much. Okay, I've had this for a long time, so it will come back as items not sold. I got 2 items left. 3. I lied. 3 items left. Oh, I hate this. I undid all of this, but this one prior to the sale. Nope, this one and one more. I lied. Sorry. And then I'm going to have, I have a piece of leftover salmon. I cooked up asparagus and yams. The salmon is from a couple days ago, which is fine. I don't eat lots of meat. And then fresh asparagus and a lot of sweet potatoes. So the sweet potatoes will last me for a couple days. Yum, yum. And I like to, I don't put butter on them. I like to heat them up and put like a little tiny bit of feta cheese or something. Yeah, that's just me. That's how I roll. And so that's what I'm going to have for dinner. Okay, so this is a buy it now. I think it might have had a name, but I don't, it doesn't matter. Jane. Jane. Hi, Jane. Wow, how are you, darling? Oh, my lordy. What you doing in here? How are you? How are you? I haven't seen you in a while because Saturdays hasn't been happening. I hope you're well. Everyone say hi to Jane. Jane is, she's a good egg. So this, gotta let the computer catch up with the focus. This is probably 90s. This is just the gold tone metal square. Then you have the clear cut stone. Then you have like a smoky brown with a hint of purple. Then you have black and white, which I think is really pretty sneaky. And when you turn it, it turns kind of brownish. Then you have that same brownish purple again. Clear and clear. And you can tell it's more modern, not only by the metals, but by it, they're painted on the back. But I love that drop. It's fun. Did I put that up there? Thank you, Jane. And then it's just on, a really long chain with an extender. I mean, for crying out loud, it is so long. I don't think you need an extender. Just the drop alone is probably 6 inches. And then the chain, we'll put it on and see, but it's crazy long. Isn't that pretty? See, that's the thing. It's just costume. Okay, it's modern. But look at how stunning that is. Forget this, like really higher end piece. You just put this on over a t-shirt or with your summer dress and some tiny little post earrings or some gold hoops, and you're good to go, man. I think it's fabulous. And it comes down, yeah, right at the bottom of stuff. So 28 inches without the extender, and Zen has purchased it. Zen, this is so much fun. I'm glad you can see the fun in that. Yeah, I just, honest to God, this is why I like costume, because there's stuff you can do with costume that you cannot do with high-end pieces, because, I mean, you can. Thank you, Zen, my friend. If these were all real stones and you had a drop like that, forget about the necklace. And it was gold or silver, that's $100 to $200 or more dollars, depending on what's in there right off the bat, instead of just having a fun piece for $12. Oh, good night, Barb. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, honey, and have a good rest. I'm closing. I got 2 pieces and then I'm closing. Yep. Good night, Becky. I totally get it. I'm going a little bit longer than usual because I'm feeling up to it, but then I got 2 pieces. And that's it. And then, because Fridays are usually a little slower, and I bring, high end, and it's just slower. A slower pace, slower sales, all that stuff. And when my back is not hurting, I'm like, strike while the iron is hot. So, Jane, I don't do recaps. I'm one of those resellers. I don't do recaps, but I have brought lots of things. I set my timer. I usually don't stay on for longer than about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes after my preamble. I'm staying on a little bit longer than usual tonight because I feel like it. But I don't do a recap. So if for any reason, and I sell costume to high-end sterling silver, it's all over the map. It's all mixed in. So if you think you might be interested in anything, you can always email me later. Okay? And I'm just happy you dropped in more than anything. You've been there since Pinocchio? I love that. Oh, why did I do that? Wait a minute. Clop. I'm putting in clop. Yes, exactly, Heidi. These are incredible. And this is my educated guess. My educated guess is that they were a D&E designed or Juliana designed clip-on earrings. There is so many out there. Juliana and D&E worked with so many companies. And so it's hard to know unless you have them in your hand and you have experience. One of the ways you can tell is that they're different. The glass is different. The design is different in terms of the pattern that you wind up seeing. The colors are different. And they almost always have the light open to the glass in the back. They're high end, and they're never signed. I mean, or extremely rarely. I don't know if I've never had a signed piece in my hands. So they're clip-ons. And these are really interesting. That prong setting leads me to think 1960s. There's a thing out there, but it's generally reserved for like the orange and reds and whatnot, like Tutti Frutti or fruit salad. These, you see the glass is green, like light, almost a lime green with the white. And then definitely a super light green. I don't even know what to call that green. This is like a baby blue. Baby blue, and these two are light blue. So that's one of the things. They really mix up the colors. Pineapple era. There you go. I like that, Kelly. And then see how that's another distinctive thing. They'll lean in, they'll lean out. They're not straightforward at all. I mean, these were high-end designer pieces. See that? They're supposed to be like that. And then often the smaller ones, they're closed, but the big pieces are open to the light. And the glass is very often a check glass. So that glass in the front that you're seeing, that's like the white and green mixture, kind of like a marble or slag glass, is likely check glass. And see how this is totally different. It's inset. It's like slag into a frosty white. Yeah. So that's that one. Boom. Can't see it very good from there, but and then this is the other one. So Jane, have you watched me and have seen what I look like before, but just never been here live? Hi, Lulu. What's going on? Didn't you just have a sale, honey? I swear that you did. Or you're about to. You're about to. Aren't you, Lulu? Aren't you about to have a sale? And see, this one is the same with the dark baby blue, the light baby blue, the very light blue green, and then that slag glass stuff going on. Oh, you finished. The setting, color, and style determine the age. Well, in terms of Heidi, in terms of potential D&E Juliana earring. Yes. They were very prominent mid-50s, 60s. And a little before that, but that was like the heyday, if you will. If that helps at all. May you see the back? Yes. Hi, Lori. How are you? Oh, your big sale is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, great. I'm on at 6. Oh, yeah, because you're a night owl. Lulu, that's right. This is the back. And this one's on my ear. Let's take it off. Let's do a loop. It's just the glass. And then they traditionally close the glass, like the rhinestone ones, and leave open some of them. I don't know how you do that night owl stuff. And then you see the lean and all that. Yeah. It's in the quality of this and this. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. It is, there's no way for me to ever, unless it was signed, which they never are, to say with any, and it's funny. So see how that looks green? But then when I am looking straight at the back, they're dirty in the back. I need to do a Q-tip. They look like light blue and not green. That's very interesting. I'm going to clean them with a Q-tip. Unless I ever had a signed pair of Juliana in my hands, which I never have, it's impossible to say with 100% surety for me that they are. But I've been around long enough that I feel comfortable saying I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, Lulu feels pretty sure about it. Lulu. There. You want me to, Lulu? Kathy, I do need to make you blue. Do you want me to make you blue, Kathy? I would love to make you blue. I've asked you before if you want to, oh, my daughter needs my attention. I'll be done in a second. I've asked you before if you wanted to be blue, and you've always said no, Kathy. Hold on, Lulu. I'm sorry. You've always said no. I am live right now. What's going on? Why does it? So this is so weird. Hold on. I'm making Kathy blue. My thing on my phone said this sale happened 3 days ago, and I'm like, how is that happening? That's so weird. Okay, Kathy, you should be blue. That was really weird. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, could you drop Lulu's link? Okay, so listen. Fair warning, but I've been deedling and dawdling for way too long, so I'm sure that no one wants to come in at 34 or higher. So we're gonna say sold to Lulu for 33. Yeah. Boom. Thank you, Lulu. Hey, Lulu. I'm going to do one more item, y'all, and then I have to go and I need to talk to my daughter. Lulu, do you want me to do like a Q-tip with just some mild, like water or a tiny like water rubbing alcohol, or you want to clean them yourself? Lulu. I mean, I'd almost be more comfortable with you doing it yourself, but I will do it. I absolutely can. I'm not going to mess it up. Okay, you will? Okay. I just, yeah, I didn't want to screw it up. Thank you. Okay, one last like basic item, and then I got to go see what's up with my daughter. She called me about worrying about her stomach and hours ago, and then I was like, well, I don't think you necessarily have to, but now she's worrying, so I think she needs to go to the ER and make sure she's okay. Nothing, I think she's okay, but I think she's just freaking out. Yeah. It's a thing. It's just better that she goes and gets checked. Okay, so I'm going to close on this. Buy it now. What's your method, Lulu? What do you do? Because it's glass and they're really high end. And I mean, you can just put a Q-tip in without anything on it at all. But if you have a secret recipe, let me know. Oh, yes, Lulu. Because this is the end of week 2. Okay. Hold. And what I'll do, hold to next round. So that means if I do that, Lulu, just so you know, I do 2-week build-a-boxes. So that means it's going to be like a month. So as long as that's okay with you, it's going to be a month because I do 2-week build-a-boxes. So just put in the chat that that's okay. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Gigi. Oh, I will check that out. Hi, Gigi. I love you. Gigi, this is my last item. I'm gotta be done. I gotta call my daughter and see what's going on and then do dinner. So this is just your basic, modern, really fun costume jewelry. It's my first love. Mask brooch with a rhinestone. And I love how it's very ethnic. Probably 90s. Very ethnic. She is very attractive, yes, I think. Gigi, I'm sorry, honey. I missed you again. I missed you. And Gigi, I still haven't fixed your invoice. I've been so busy with stuff. It's almost 1.5 inches wide and 2 inches long. It's just a little thing. Oh, Pamela's like, okay. I love it. Okay. Closing on a sale is excellent. Okay. Face mask. Oh, it went through? Okay. Thank you, Lulu. And Gigi, I'm so glad. I'm glad it worked, but I wasn't worried about it at all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. I'll be on tomorrow at 3 my time, 6 Eastern. And big hugs to everyone. I got to go. I got to see what's up with my daughter. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for appreciating me. Be kind. It doesn't cost a dime. See you later.